And keeping our eye on the environment, the success of Oregon's wine industry very closely tied to the state's climate and the growing seasons. Oregon winemakers gathered in Portland at this year's Wine Symposium to talk about the year ahead and what to expect.
Greg Jones is the CEO of Abbasella Winery in Roseburg. He's also an atmospheric scientist and wine climatologist. I talked with him about this year's climate outlook, which he shared with other winemakers at this week's symposium.
Well, Greg, thanks so much for talking with us this morning. For anyone who is, kind of unfamiliar with grape growing and the wine production here, particularly in Oregon, why is keeping an eye on the climate so important?
Well, weather and climate is really the critical driver of how we manage our vines, how we produce wine every year, year in, year out. While there's many other factors that go into it, if you have a challenging season, you can really have challenging production situations. So, understanding what's happening both in the past and in the future is really important because it allows us to make good decisions as we go through the season.
Mhm. So let's take a look back then at this past season. That would be what, the 2022 vintage? What did we see last year?
Yeah, 2022 was an interesting year. We had kind of a tale of two extremes. On the front end of the season, it was quite cold and quite wet. We started April coming out of a little bit of a warm period in March, and when we did, we had a little bud break, and then so the vines were starting to wake up from the spring, and then all of a sudden it turned cold and wet, and we had a frost. Not only did we have this frost that occurred in April, but it stayed cold and wet all the way until the first 10 days of June. So that was very unique in and of itself. It was quite rare in general. But then we had a nice growing season, and I think there was a lot of recovery that happened. We had some vine damage from the frost, but everything that happened the rest of the summer was just really glorious. And then as we were heading into that home stretch, so to speak, when everybody's looking at the rains in September or the cold coming in October, we had an absolutely spectacular fall. It was a turnaround that was just for the record books. It was one of the warmest and driest periods, and I think it allowed people to harvest through everything that they were carrying during the vintage. And so we went from a lot of concern and worry early on to absolutely everybody being thrilled and happy with the vintage.
Yeah, very, very different outcome from more recent seasons past, where often we were ending the season racing against wildfires and smoke and some of those other issues. We didn't seem to have as many problems with that this year, thankfully.
Yeah, we really didn't. Often the end of the season is really kind of the linchpin in making the whole vintage. But this year we had challenges when we started out, but it really ended up turning the corner for us, and was a wonderful year.
So looking ahead here to 2023's growing season, do you have any early predictions for what this year might hold?
Yeah, there's a lot of good evidence out there in the world of climate science that looks at both short-term to long-term modeling to try to get a better sense of kind of what seasonality kind of tendencies we might have. The conditions that drove last year's cold spring and wet conditions are still in place. You might have seen or heard in the news, we've been in a triple dip La Nina. Well, what that basically means is that the tendency is for the Pacific Northwest to be cold and a little wet during those kind of periods. But we've also had a situation in the North Pacific where the ocean temperatures offshore are quite cold. And those two things in combination, I think, are driving us, again, really into what I think is another cool, wet spring. Will it be as cold as last year? I don't know. I do know that the current conditions out there right now are really important because the longer it stays cold into March, the better off we're likely going to be. So we need it to stay cold between now and, say, mid-April, and then let it warm up slowly after that. But the current forecast says we have the potential still for frost this coming year. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we won't have it as bad and as long drawn out as we did last year.
Mhm. Well, it's interesting. Every season is different and unique, and even though we've seen this trend in recent years here of some cooler springs, maybe overall just a slightly cooler year last year, in general, we are seeing a trend, of warming and of a warming climate. How is that influencing growers' decisions as they look, way down the road into the future?
Well, I think you have to look at the past to really understand this. The Oregon wine industry really didn't exist prior to 1960. I mean, there were the early pioneers that planted here, planted in a really cold, short growing season, wet harvest period type of climate. You fast forward those 60 years from then till now, we're in an environment now that the ability to ripen the varieties we grow throughout the state of Oregon is completely changed. So we've benefited tremendously from climate change over the last 60 years or so. So then the question is, what does the future hold? So if we look at kind of short term to longer term kind of frameworks, we're going to, the persistence in the climate system and everything that's going on out there tells us that warming is highly likely. If we warm by 1 or 2 or 3 degrees, and how does that look like seasonally? That could be issues that we have to address. And most of it comes from addressing things in the vineyard. Do you manage your vines differently? Do you prune them, train them differently? Maybe some people might look to plant different varieties than we're growing today, because a warmer environment opens up a lot of potential for other things that we're not doing currently. So, I mean, there's lots of different aspects of what the future adaptation responses will do. But I think that the main thing is for this industry to really pay attention to not only current conditions, but what the future conditions are like, so we can build resiliency in our operations and just be more adaptable to the future climate.
Greg, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So he was saying for this spring, it's cold right now. As long as it stays cold until it decides to warm up, that's what we want to see.